Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Let's see. Yeah, looks like we are live. What's up, Dylan? Pudgy, JMZ, Blackball, Rick, um, J Dandy, Patrick. Did I say Patrick? Knocked the trainer over. Blackball, not too early for maps. Do I have any maps today? Well, I did. I did end up on an adventure for most of the day, an unnecessary adventure, but yeah, as most of you know, we got a big winter storm a couple days ago, and there's still snow piled up everywhere around here. You can't ride our bike trails, really. If you saw some of Perry's pictures, I'll pull some up. But it looked tough, and Brad last night was saying that too. But yeah, today I went out to go pick up this old uh, early 80s Peugeot. This is probably an 81, 82. They only use that tube set for 3 years. So yeah, whatever. Got it started snowing, and by the time I get to like where I have to kind of head into the Cuyahoga Valley, it just starts piling up. And there was like absolutely no prediction of snow in the forecast at all. And it just turned out that lake effect started coming. I actually pulled over in a park for a while because the roads were getting so bad. Pulled open the radar, and it's like, yep, just a band coming directly off Lake Erie. So here to get a bunch of lake effect, it just has to be coming directly from the north. And yeah, we were just getting buried. And I've already been trying to buy this bike. I went to go get it the first time, and my car wouldn't start, and that's when obsolescence came over and helped me put a new starter in my car. So then the car worked, and then I was going to go get it, and then we got the snowstorm, and my car was stuck at the pizza shop around the corner. So yeah, it's been quite the. So I thought, like, by today, this guy thinks I'm like totally messing with him. I ended up pulling into a restaurant a while later, and I was just like, and it was kept showing that the storm was going to end, and then it just kept coming. So I ended up getting picked up by my parents because my car is so bad in the snow, and they have a four-wheel drive. We went and picked up the bike, and then they had planned to come over today anyways because they had a project they wanted to do in my wood shop. So yeah, so for the second time, the second winter event, my car is again not here at the studio, and it's somewhere else, and I'm gonna have to ride my bike to go get it. So I'm rambling. While I was waiting for my parents, I had a few beers and a Bloody Mary because I'm like just kind of stuck. Well, I thought I was just riding the storm out, and I'd just have like a drink and lunch and just wait. But yeah, I'm just rambling tonight. I haven't said hi to anyone. Oh, we already have pork. Hey, what's up, Raymond? Party size, Malk. Yeah, I just gotta. Oh, we gotta show Malk's new bike. But oh, what's up, Mile High? You emailed me on Tuesday, and I totally forgot to email you back. But I was out of it on Tuesday. That's why I didn't end up streaming. So yeah, so Malk came up to Dirty River to buy a frame, so I rode over to the bike shop, met up with them, and we were able to have lunch and hang out for a little bit. But yeah, let's go to the bike pick. There's got a bunch of bike picks since we didn't go into it. I guess I'll start at the top. But do you measure? Oh wait, measure a frame from the center of the crank to the bottom of the seat tube. Yeah, I guess. Well, when you say seat tube, I'm trying to, well, go the other way. I always thought it was just the yeah, I mean that's the same thing. Top of the top tube, right? By the seat, I would go with the top of the top tube because some bikes just have uh, another piece of more metal there. I don't know, whatever. I can't zoom in on this because it's just a video. But what's up, Farley? Yeah, I think center of the bottom bracket to the top of the top tube. Like right, you know. So sending you a 51 instead of a 54, that would be noticeable. I mean, the main thing is it doesn't matter what the number says. Stand over it and see if it feels like the right size, and if it's not, then it doesn't work. You know. Yeah, and stuff too. Like, don't I feel like, which is one of the weird things. I feel like when you get an old bike, like even uh, like this cheap bike, there was like more size options. They almost went what by the you could get a 56, 57, 58 sometimes. But I think they always seem to be more accurate. Now I don't feel like modern bikes too because you have the whole effective top tube thing and stuff like that. It's not the same as when they had just the regular triangle, but Dylan had a 51 road bike and the C tube was 48. Hmm. Oh yeah, he said it even said, I gotcha. And don't you have to? So basically, with bikes with what slanted top tubes, the effective is just where it would be if it was a straight parallel line from the where it went into the head tube, right? So I think frame size at least was more accurate than tire size because as we've all seen from Russ's videos and depending on your rim combination and everything, how different tires are. Where, yeah, oh yeah, let's get to these bike picks. I am out of it. I'll just be honest. Like I said, I had a couple beers, took a nap, woke up, and I'm like, oh, let's go. So I think a mixed D would be the same, Rick. It would be like where the effect, like where I don't know, almost top of the steerer across, right? I don't know because yeah. Let's see. Snacks is building up a steel bike. So which one is that? Which Surly is that? Oh, Midnight Special. He had an older. Oh yeah, there's the progress of the build happening. Oh yeah, then Baron posted a photo of his Peugeot. Uh, See a bigger shot of that. I think that's an older one. I wonder if that could even be 60s. Looking at that crankset. I have both of the Peugeots I have aren't lugged. They're both fillet brazed, uh, but they're the same exact error, same logos and everything. So that makes sense. Oh yeah, Lanky's riding to go skiing. I'm impressed he took his Le Mans. I haven't been out on anything but my studded tires since the snowstorm. Even though a lot of the roads had been cleared before today, there's still like the shoulders are all messed up. There's no sidewalks. Like I said, the bike paths are unrideable. So yeah, I was impressed you took the Le Mans out there instead of, or I guess maybe he has the fat bike back at the shop for sale. But I think we're all in on the size, right? For effective top tube size. Or oh yeah, definitely beautiful light on the Peugeot pick. Summit Perry carrying his did we ever get an answer about what he was doing with these extra wheels on the back of his bike? Or extra whole, yeah, tires, wheels, everything. Oh yeah, and Summit trying to get home in the snow. This snow, like I was saying the other day, even once they started to get it cleared, is super hard to ride in. I just now a lot of the roads are, well, before today were clear and it got rideable again. But something about this snow, it's like impossible. Even when it's just packed in thin, it slips on itself and you just can't keep it upright. I've ridden like felt like I've ridden in pretty crazy snow since I had the studded tires, the 45 North Gravdales, and this time the snowstorm we got on Sunday and Monday, I it was like unless it was super there, it salted it a ton and it had turned to slush. I was fine on that real wet stuff, but everything else, yeah, it's just almost impossible. But did were yours farther back, Pudgy? I did see your commuting snow pics. I just need to scroll back far. Well, you guys have chatted a lot in there since. Oh yeah, there's a bunch more photos going back, but we need to like somehow stop chatting in the bike pic chat because for the stream it's so hard to get back through to the photos. There we go. That bike is great with that setup. Like you really like, yeah, like you said, killed it for like a commuter setup bike. Yeah, did you guys like somehow, even though it came like from the south, did you guys down south, like in Ohio, southern Ohio, or mid Ohio, I guess, where Malka and Pudgy are, just not get it quite as bad? Because it looks like there's a ton of snow there, but I don't know. I saw like it seemed like more people were riding down your way than up here. Because yeah, oh, we got to show Malk's new. Oh, Dylan had a cool photo here too. First, yeah. How were you? I wonder how you were doing out there, Dylan, because it was just like I couldn't ride to places like this up in Akron. And granted, you have a much fatter, tired bike than me, but I've usually been able to push through some horrible, stuff. Oh yeah, and Patrick's is the opposite right now. Is he's enjoying the weather out where he is in is Arizona is the best time of the year. Like I said, I always like having some snow at first, but then if I can't ride in it, it's like I always want those few like riding in the snow experiences, like a year, and then I'm cool. And then it's like then I'm just dying for it to look like this outside again. So oh, and Summit Perry's commute. Oh, Pudgy said they got about a foot of snow, but it was heavy, so easier to ride on. Interesting. Yeah, we got yeah 18 inches in a lot of place easy, but the key is low pressure. Yeah, we were joking about like when someone tells you just yeah lower your pressure. Like I was running as low as like my tube Grabdales could. I think I was down to about 20 psi on what 2.1 inch or what is that 2.1 or 2.3 inch tires, and yeah, there was just if I wasn't on the main road the last few days, I was not getting anywhere. So Did you guys? Hey, what's up, Richie? Um, Dylan, you said it was pretty slow, but you were running a 3 inch. Did anyone watch the? I think it just came out today. Dustin Klein's latest video of trying to ride the fat bikes and how much hike a bike they had to do. And I was watching that. I'm like, yeah, there's just some conditions that no matter what the equipment, they're just not rideable, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I was riding something with tires that there were still spots where I would have been sliding on that day on Monday. But yeah. Yeah, funny Brad went out, and I haven't had the chance to talk to him last night, and he went to Magic City, which is down the towpath, and I'm like, I can't imagine he rode that far down the towpath, so I don't know if he jumped out on some roads, but he was showing how sketchy some of the bridges and stuff were. So, so he said Dustin seems kind of a stiff roadie. I watch. I don't know. He bombs some stuff that I feel like he's going pretty hard on some like fire roads and stuff like that sometimes, but yeah. And then Mark, you said there's that Lucas video from last winter where he's riding in Boston through like 2 feet of snow, yeah, and like yeah 25s, and he's like making fun of everyone who rides fat bikes or any kind of reasonable bike. But it's it. I mean, you can't argue with him because he's like completely just bombing through the city with tons of snow on the roads on his Chinelli. He even goes out and rides on uh, the Charles River, which is insane. So if you haven't seen that one, watch that video and just be like, this dude's a maniac. Yeah, Large is saying he was on roads and the towpath is unrideable. Yeah, the towpath, yeah, was, yeah. And then since we got this surprise extra couple of inches today, so. Oh, party size, you're right. When he finally saw on the decline thing, he was definitely running too much pressure, and he did lower it in the ride, but still, I think that was just some, like you said, slick, like icy stuff. It's so much warmer out here than here too. Not so much, but so if they're having snow, it's probably that real. It could just be real wet, and getting in the sun, turning into ice. So, oh, Large is not talking about Lucas. He's talking about Brad last night. He rode roads, saying the towpath is unrideable. Yeah, because that's what Matt Perry said even this morning. But it looked like he went a little farther on his way home this evening. Oh yeah, this is obsolescence too. Oh yeah, Patrick was saying Decline and Ron definitely seemed out of their element on those fat bikes. I think so. I mean, it would. I think it could have been different. I think they really encountered like conditions that were bad, you know. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see what happened if they were just like on, I don't know, and some like maybe fluffier snow that was easier to ride through. But Dylan said it was raining in Columbus yesterday. Oh, and it froze. The footprints. That's the worst. That could do in like the bike trails around here for like if you're having a hard winter, 3 weeks to a month. If you get that like really cold weather, then it warms up, but there was enough snow on the ground that where everyone walked has frozen into the pass. I mean, it's totally unrideable. It's just ice, like tiny bumpy ice. You know, it's the worst thing. It's but yeah, I had a runner yell at me on the towpath last year. I'm sure I went off on the stream about that when it happened, but about how I was ruining the path, and I'm like, you're the one ruining the path. If a bunch of people bike through here, it's still accessible to skiers and everyone walkers. But yeah, Oh, Dylan, you said all the bike paths in Columbus are plowed. That's one of my. I'm just reading. That's one of my problems. Is like, uh, totally. We don't even have like the shoulders plowed in a lot of areas around here yet. So, yeah, sidewalks aren't plowed. Like there are a lot of places where shoulders haven't been plowed yet. So, oh, am I doing this right? You were talking about the Varia. I was trying to think of the name of that. Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering. So, like, I think Lanky was liked it. Pudgy just was saying that he liked the Varia and it was working for him. And then I saw that they released that Cannondale Synapse. Did you guys look at that yet? Like, the Synapse has always, I thought, been the most practical, obviously, Cannondale road bike. So I've always thought they were cool. And Micah has one. So even though they're saying um, like 32 clearance, I think he has 35s or easy on it or 38s. But whatever. Yeah, so they put it with that battery in there and a headlight and a tail light and the Varia system, the radar. So I was like, that is such a weird move. Like no one, I don't think anyone's done anything like that yet, right? For a major brand making the full spectrum of bikes. But I was wondering what you guys think because for me, it's like I would still rather use my own lights and make the determination whether I wanted the radar thing. Because, like I said, a couple of you guys have said it's good. I don't think I want it, but yeah, I just feel like now you're putting tech into bikes that, man, I don't know. That's what's so annoying about your car, right? Something goes wrong and it has to be fixed in an electronical way and all that. So I almost think like, man, I don't want any more of that on bikes. But yeah, that doesn't answer your question about like the fact that you like it. Like that's not really a question, but just saying mentioning future tech. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would like the Garmin or not. I would have to see it. But large, you said you're not into it. Yeah, and even just I guess I could pull up photos. Instead of just obsolescence bikes and the snow in the background. But they also switched, and this is only to the drop stays on the new Synapse. And obviously, as anyone who knows me would probably know that I like the more classic look of a bicycle. But yeah, so I wasn't crazy about the drop stays on the endurance bike. I get why it's done, but at the same time, it's like this is an endurance road bike with full stays. There would be more built-in suspension. You would think that they could do with the carbon layup. And if you look at synapses, they get thin in the middle on the old one. So I always assumed that was the reason. So yeah, I've always thought the Synapse was a cool bike. When I went to see Perry Roubaix, most of EF was actually riding Synapses, which make total sense. More tire clearance, more suspension in the frame. Um, yeah, the longest monument. So oh, Dylan said the new commercial for the Synapse is stunning. Yeah, I've watched the commercial and I've seen a couple other people repost it. Is my mic too hot? It's going way into the yellow. Just let me know if I'm getting distorted. But yeah, the new commercial was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel the same way about like so many people really like the idea of dynamo hubs. And I just always in my mind feel like, is this something I'm gonna have to mess with? You know? And I'm like, my I mean, I love to tinker with bikes, but I don't like to have problems with bikes, if that makes any sense. Uh, you know, even when I rode the other day with my snow shovel on my bike and used valet straps and I got it perfectly. And in my mind, I'm thinking of trying to, you guys were helping me in the Discord, like strap it across my back. What can I do? Like, and I'm like, all that is going to be something where I'm trying to ride my bike somewhere and I'm constantly aware that there's like a shovel situation. But yeah, so when I actually got it tight with the valet straps, I was so happy. But what's what is the point of where I'm going with any of this? So, anyways, yeah, I have no idea where I was going with that. But look at more pictures of bikes. I should pull up the Synapse. I haven't even tried to look at the, if we're going to talk about it. And it's super pricey now. Like, come on, I don't need to take a bunch of surveys to look at the, yeah, so what the, with Tiagra, it's 2,400. That's, I guess, reasonable, but all the ones I was looking at, like the mediumly spec'd ones, really, yeah, like these $5,000, 7,000, 9,000. But they really run the spread with this thing, I guess. I didn't realize there was a 2,400 version. Uh, Blackwall said I need to come over to the single speed side. Well, I do. I did build up a single speed in the on the streams late last winter, early spring, and I've ridden it a bit. I really like it. It's my upright, comfortable bike. Some sweet back bars, and the gear's a little hard, so I like it. You know, if there's going to be some hills, it doesn't really work as well. But reading Dylan's comment and thinking about that. I think the point is the bike should disappear so you could focus on the experience of riding. Yeah. Yeah, that when you guys were talking about, we were talking about on the, I think the stream a week and a half ago about I thought like that radar thing would be cool in rural settings where I'm just riding my bike down the road and I stop looking back. Like, you know, when I'm riding in the city, I'm pretty constantly aware of where traffic is around me. And I think that's why I had the negative reaction to like the idea of the radar at first, because I'm like, you know, I think of where I'm riding from here in Cuyahoga Falls to downtown Akron and through like the streets of Akron. And I'm like, I don't want to be bothered by a head unit. I need to be watching the road. I need to be like aware of like just, you know, I think you just have to be paying attention nonstop, and there's no time to like, it doesn't matter. You're not going to look at a screen. So it's just not helping you in those situations. But yeah, like in more rural settings when you're just kind of zoned out and then you had some kind of visual warning, because in those situations, sometimes I will be looking at the head unit or whatever. So I don't know. For me, it wouldn't be worth. I don't think for the way I ride, it'd be worth it. But hey, what's up, Musgrave? Yeah, I'm drinking Edmund Fitz. I'm going to do the break early because I'm going to grab another Edmund Fitz and wake up a bit and drink a glass of water. So yeah, I'm going to do the break now, and then we'll talk more about bikes and maybe even like dig into this Peugeot a little bit. I just want to take a quick moment during this break to thank our channel members. Their financial support really does make it possible to do this many live streams and produce this many videos. So thanks a lot. If you're interested in joining, we could drop a link on the screen in the chat right now that you could check out and follow that link and join the channel and get some special perks too. Anyways, thanks to everybody else too for tuning in. I really enjoyed doing this. Check out the merch store and also drop a like on this video. Thanks, every little bit helps. We will be back in a couple minutes. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat.
want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna.
I'm cracking up at we're talking about the Varia, or I'm reading the comments about the Varia, and Pudgy was saying how he used it with sound, and then Bard said the thing about cars is they're pretty loud too, and I guess that is part of it. Is that yeah, especially when you're in the you usually tend to hear cars, unless you're in a completely overboard situation. But Rick was saying he has it set up for a certain tone. Yeah. Oh, did I not? I didn't show Malk's new bike yet, right? I skipped it because I started rambling about something. But oh, you didn't get a tuna boat while guesting? Oh, well, I don't think you could. Yeah, you can't hear it, right? I can't hear it either. I have to go and listen to Tuna Boat on my own sometimes because I'm like, I don't get to hear it over the streams. Well, Party Size was telling me too about a program that could manage all that, which I need to. I wrote it down actually. I need to look into, but all right. What was I doing? What was the next move? Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Well, Rick, they got that like warm spell, the opposite of here. Oh, I don't have that up there at all. Yeah, cars aren't loud in the winter. Winter hats, wind, etc. I could see that, but oh, VB meter is the program. Let's see if I do have that. Well, can't hurt to write it down again. Oh, this is the bike that JMZ rented. That's right, in Colorado Springs. Yeah. Oh, they had snow out there, huh? Yeah, well, yeah, Colorado Springs, right? Way up there. Oh, yeah, that looks awesome. I know Patrick was giving some advice on where to go, where to get a drink and all that. So, Blackwall, I need more tuna boat in the monitors. Oh, yeah, that looks awesome. Oh, yeah, there's my shovel setup. It did. That was perfect. It like didn't move at all. It wasn't in the way of my legs. Like you guys were joking, it was just like a double top tube Rivendell. But how party size, you can't find tuna boat. It's a deep cut. Yeah, it's a deep cut. I know Large found it once. We were riding bikes and he put it on. Oh, Rick said, I think people don't get it on the Varia, but I defy you to find someone who's used it and doesn't love it. And yeah, I think I could talking about the radar and the getting a warning, like however you set it up, right? If you want it, it could have red on the screen or it could make a tone, like you're saying. But yeah, there's been other things in life where I'm like, I don't need that, and then it's very hard to go back once you don't have it. The bike computer is the perfect example. I always had my um, phone in my pocket with Strava running. I never had any kind of visual thing. Now I have a computer to get to know what the gradients are and what your speed is. I yeah, I can't now. I won't ride without it. As you guys have probably seen from the other videos, I put it on everything. If I'm riding the old Peugeot, I put it on there. If I'm riding the snow bike, I still put it on there. So I'm not, I don't want to argue with that because I've been wrong about plenty of stuff in cycling. Like, well, not minding my vintage friction shifting bikes. I don't need brifters on everything. And then, you know, now I like to buy vintage bikes and put brifters on them, so. Malk, you were looking for with the Sound Hound app for Tuna Boat. I also think the other thing about Tuna Boat, I need to look it up to check, but I think it's the only song that I could find by this band. So there's not like an album and I picked the best one. It's just like it is the only like song that. Well, I'll give you guys a hint if you're trying to look it up. The band is called, I think it's just Fish Heads, like plural fish heads. Yeah. J Dandy Tuna Boat swag, I'm telling you. Well, um, Pudgy, you said you're still waiting on the Piddle shirt. I, this is, it's funny you said that. So I had messaged Micah when I got home uh, and showed him the picture I put on the cycling Instagram account of the Peugeot and the logo. And I asked him, I was like, how hard would it be to modify that logo, say with different letters that spelled something really cool, And that whole logo is such a great uh, thing. Now it's funny that you're saying pedal brake shirt because you would have the P, but Micah was like, there's enough in those letters that he could, design something to have that look. So I think that's the next piece of swag for sure is something in that Peugeot logo, but then also the colorway they have right there is so awesome. So that frame color could be the t-shirt, and then you could have like something, you know, different with the Peugeot. That'd be pretty rad. But Tuna Song is in the Big Lebowski for a second? No way. I think I think you guys might have gone down a rabbit hole that you didn't need to, because I think the description of all the live streams has a actual link to Tuna Boat. Because I almost always link to whatever music I'm using, especially if I like that it's not copyrighted. I really think in the description of this there's a link to the band. Let's see. Oh, it has the. Oh yeah, there it is. Members thanks song. I'm really going down a yes. This is good television. party party size says totally is in there. Damn it. Yeah. I remember Terry B on the live streams. People kept asking questions. He'd be like, "That's in the description." Like, or they'd even be asking questions about a video he just put out. Like the route's in there, and I just forget. Like, I think people who have made even a couple videos for YouTube, you always think about the description. If you haven't, you don't as much. But yeah, like I always get asked, like, "Where was that route? Where were you guys riding?" And I'm like, every video literally has a link to the Unlock Strava in there. So But yeah, I think it's if you're, especially if you're watching on like a regular TV, like I always cast the Fire TV. I never like then go down to the description if it's something that I was interested in. I might go back and do it later. But I guess, well, it does say members thanks song. I was going to say because it only shows fish heads, not tuna boat, but that hiding it in plain sight. But it does say, literally say members thanks song. Let's see if I was right about them having no other songs. Yeah, look at this. It says number 5, so there obviously were at least 4 more at some point, right? Oh, is this just no? This is a link to the fish heads, not just the tuna boat song. Yeah, that's all they got. They do have a website that I've never attempted. I don't think I've attempted to go to. This is better than Bike's a deep dive into uh, tuna boat. Nope, they did not renew their domain name. Jay Dandy, you said tuna boat and industrial gravel are my brand. Okay, on the cycling side. That outro music is an earworm. It's always in your head when you ride. Huh. That is, I can't even remember what that song sounds like because um, I never have to edit the outro video. Like, since I made it, and then, oh, is that Holiday? Is the outro song Holiday? Because that's, yeah, that's right. That's me. I know that song to a T because I play bass on that recording. We recorded Holiday 3 different times, 3 different ways, always trying to capture what we felt like the whatever vibe of that song was. Malk said he wants to ride the Strava GPX that me and Dylan rode the night that we met you in the brewery. Oh, when you get the karate done. Yeah, that was a man. You couldn't just I don't think you could just follow a computer on that route. I think you would have to follow Dylan. That's the only way you would. Man, those cuts are so quick, like all the time. It was so fun. I would love to go back and do it a couple more times because the first time it is so, there are so many quick turns that I wasn't even seeing. And they weren't like, not everything was super technical. It was just like, oh, we're going through there. There's an opening in there. So, oh, Patrick said he misses the old outro. That's right. The old outro song was copyrighted, so I took it off because then I could never monetize a stream. So, not that it's that big of a deal, but I do that with videos still. I will use a copyrighted song that the money just goes to the artist. If I use something, I think like 3 videos ago it was, but oh, Pudgy, you said the same thing about GPX not working. Yeah, anything that is that like tight, and I should put that up in the background while I'm talking, just because it will give you an idea of what we're. Uh, there it is. Turn the audio on that way down. Oh, I need to turn down my. Sorry, it's probably feeding back. There we go. A muskrat asked if we went down to Dover to record Holiday. We recorded Holiday at Suma up in, is that Westlake? Way up there in the snow belt. Or is that like, what is that, Painesville? Westlake? Suma's kind of a legendary recording studio around here. I think that's probably the best version we got too, because we used a lot of cool Got to use a cool mic. We had a friend play piano on it, but audio's good. Nice. Oh, Raymond said tuna boat in Peugeot font and colors. We're really limiting my market for that, you know. I have so much more footage from this ride. I should write that on my list. I should just make a members video that is like uh, just like a dump from this ride, and then people, if they want to fast forward through or look around, because there's just, yeah, this is like a fraction. And I usually, everything we went through was, so for me, like that turn. Oh yeah, won't be delayed. No, it won't be delayed as I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, you wouldn't see that if you weren't, like, GPX wasn't going to lead you through that, you know. So yep, close enough, Musgrave. Oh, you guys are going to do some trail maintenance on it? Yeah, like again, there it's like you have to know. No, it's, you know, I guess it's probably like some of the stuff you guys got to ride when some of you have ridden with me in Akron, but it's even, this is even cuttier. You know, we find like it's a lot of times an off road thing, and then it's kind of clear where you're going to go. But yeah, I even did the time lapse thing here just to try and fit more of how cool I felt like it was in. You know, so. And I've always kind of, you know, before I actually rode with Dylan, or we always joked about like them being flatlanders. And so he has all these like short, steep, like, you know, riverbank type stuff that you hit that makes it feel like you're actually will be getting elevation too. But even down like the direction of High Street, the perpendicular streets with the really good bike lanes in Columbus, I've always, you know, when I was younger, drove around Columbus and felt like it's pan flat, but like there still is like a gradient there, and if you're riding hard, you know what I mean, you could still feel it. Oh yeah, look, like that turn right there, you know, you don't see it at all. Yeah, Dylan's just like ripping air, and I'm like just holding on to the bars. Yeah, you see Dylan just sending it at me, riding the shit out of the brakes. So I actually, besides the bike that I have here tonight, I eBay bid on something that I want to make a more off-road thing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to spoil that one yet. Oh yeah, the little skills track out there. Yeah, like like that. How do you realize there's? I guess you find that when you're coming the other way the first time before you wedge your way through two poles to find the trail. But I'm trying to remember what we ended up with. Was I mean, I rode to meet Dylan, but I think it was still like what, over 20, mid 20 mile ride. Like doing a lot of this. There were some like transfer like to like where we were doing the skills park on like some suburban roads, but nothing too bad. Some bike path roads and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he really had everything stringed pretty well together. So yeah, Pudgy. Yeah, that bike that I think it'll end up being a gravel bike, but I have to see what it. I bid on an eBay auction for a bike because the guy had no information listed, and so I was hoping that's the reason no one else was buying. Like the size wasn't listed, the year wasn't listed, but I could tell enough of what I thought I was looking at was decent, and by the head tube, I thought it might be my size. But dude, I just downed that beer so fast. Wow. Yeah, 20 miles of that will wear on you. And then we ripped across town to get to where we met Pudgy and Malk at like a really good pace. So, like I've said, Dylan's definitely one of the stronger riders I ride with, like in skill and in just endurance and speed. But when we did the Otis Roubaix, he beat some of the times that I've like specifically tried to go out and get. Let me. Like on a group ride, he was beating them. There we go. Oh, I still never showed Malk's bike, did I? There we go. See a big photo of the side. The surly ogre, or is that a French pronunciation? Is that the ogre? Ogre? Pan-European pronunciation. I have way too many windows open here. Oh yeah, are these what bars are these? Are these like style like mustache bars, but are they? Oh, these are Surly's. I don't know which one these are. I'll have to look these up in a minute. When drop the name of these, but yeah, those are kind of like what Obsolescence is running on his bike, but yeah. Oh, Surly doesn't make these anymore. What's up, Chris? Malk said that ride was 35.7 miles. Wow. Yeah, so that shows how much I condensed it into that short video. But it all looked like that. It's not like I was just, a huge chunk of it looked like that. It's not like I was just condensing the best parts and it was, riding down a freeway for hours. But yeah, it looks really nice. I like this color. I like that. Well, then again, and I like that color. I just bought a bike in that similar color, so of course, and that's the only reason I bought that bike is because I like the color. But huh, Malk said the bar sold him on the test ride. I think it was our friend Ryan Berge who used to always ride on. I'll put the picture back up there, but I can't remember what bike I built, and he was like mustache bars. He was like you'll. He's like that's your next move. You'll love those. I'm trying to think of what bike he had some mustache bars on. I'm sure if Large is still paying attention, he would remember because he remembers things and I don't. So yeah, simple as that. Yeah, what was that? So Dylan said, "What will the ogre and the karate monkey be built up that makes them different?" So the karate monkey is what you came up to Akron to pick up, and then you grabbed an ogre just the other day. Oh, so Pudgy said ogre is a town party bike and KM is the proper MTB. It looks like the ogre though too is. Are they considering this a touring bike? I mean, look at the mount everywhere. I was assuming it was more of a. I mean, you could use it for whatever, but I would think like this would also be made to be like a really capable touring bike, right? Oh, large. He said, "Yeah, Bergie's got the mustache bars on his Gorilla Monsoon." Oh yeah, it looks cool on there because it looks really unique on the Gorilla Monsoon, the mustache bars. So I was trying to think if it. No, Andy just has more like what Jones bars on his Gorilla Monsoon. Yeah. Hey, what's up, David? So the Karate Monkey will be 27.5, 3 by front suspension. Ogre will be 29, 2.5, slick with racks, basket, and pull my chariot snow. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. New bike day again. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then I got to show party sizes photo out on the frozen lake. The thing I really like about this party size, if you're still watching, is that like the colors on the lake like match like what your logo looks like as well. But where where were you guys out riding? Did you label this? Oh, Muskrat. How do you share your Surly pics? Oh, Large just dropped a link. So yeah, Discord. It's just like a message board, and down the one side, I could zoom out on it so you could see. But yeah, on the one side it just has like different channels, and one's called Bike Pics. So we drop the bike pics in there. But yeah, it's funny when I started the Discord, it was for the so we could show each other our like bikes and what we were drinking and all that kind of stuff. And it's great now that it's just like it's a running conversation all week long, no matter what, and different chats kind of fire up again here and there. But that's a real bike nerdery spot. But great because like no one there's like nobody who is like pretentious about anything. That's why it's like the best message board. I was on Steel is Real on Facebook earlier today, and someone was working on a. It must have been a late '60s, early '70s Bianchi, and like asked a couple questions about like what it could be, and someone was like a pile of junk, and it was kind of like one of the situations like, you know, like that bike's a pile of junk to people who collect Colnagos, right? You know, but it's like why comment like that and be that elitist and be like such a jerk about it instead of saying, oh, that there's ways to say things like that's a lower end model, you know. When I went to buy this bike, same thing. The guy thought he had a really nice bike because the paint looks cool, it's in good shape, there's no rust on it, everything works, it's totally rideable as is. But it's like there's only value here to someone who's either going to ride it as a commuter or just ride it as their bike, or me who thinks it looks cool. Like there's no there's no collector's value. There's no resale value. Putting new tires on this and running new cables, I've already lost my money. So it's only worth it if it's going to be ridden, and it's a very rideable bike. But I also just started rambling again. Totally forgot where I was going. So, oh, party size was saying that was coffee outside at Lake Solitude. Wait, oh, I lost the picture. I thought I still had it up there. There we go. But your stove froze because it was 2 degrees? That's insane. So, where was I? Where was I at next? Oh, 6 new messages. So we must got some more photos dropped in here. Oh yeah, here's David. Wait, let's read the caption first. I heard Frozen Lake. This was today. So open the big one. Oh wow, yeah. What bike is that? Did you have a bike pickup also? I mean, obviously a fat bike, but oh, Raymond got this. Oh yeah, weren't we talk were we talking about this when you ordered it? That is so sweet. And there's always a dick in the room. It's past 10. Fire doesn't freeze. 32 dicks in the room. All right. Well, I've already got to take another leak, so we're going to do a break and be right back. Oh man, I haven't played that forever. That's my favorite, most ridiculous thing I've ever made in my life, I think. So I found a template on, what is that? If you watch a lot of YouTube, the stock site that every YouTuber is hawking. But yeah, found a template for that, and I was like, oh man, this is so perfect, so stupid and ridiculous. So what are we talking about? Oh yeah, let's mess with this bike. I'm right. I don't. Let's see. So we talked about this kind of stuff before, but like, so when I was looking at this bike, it was on Craigslist, and the guy had it for $50, which if someone just bought and rode, they could ride for years, forever. It's already a 1982, like I said, 81 through 83, I think is when they build these, so somewhere in there. But yeah, you could just ride that bike and that's what they do in France when I was in Paris. Like, they ride bikes like this. They never fix them up. They never change anything. They just lube it once in a while. Their tires are half flat. Like, but I was like, yeah, you could get $50 for that. But I'm like, it's. I was like, but if you um, just want it out of there at some point, hit me up and I'll give you $35 for it. And then he came back and he was like, $40. And I mean, I'm like, to spend $40 having 2 beers and eating a meal somewhere. So I'm like, yeah, why not? Because I just absolutely love that colorway. And so I was thinking I was going to just tear it apart, because the components aren't that nice. But now I'm not so sure because everything like totally works on it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even like tried to adjust it yet, but it'll still. Yeah, still shifting. The limiter screws need to be adjusted on this. It's stopping, and it's not going into the hardest gear. Yeah, you could hear it, but there it went. Yeah, brakes worked. Yeah. It's just like I want that frame for something. So, because I just love the way the frame looks, but I'm like, oh, it's just no. I was looking at something on there, but oh, what's up, Lanky? Oh, third beer. Yeah, still a Edmund Fitzgerald. We've been doing this for 12 months. Yeah, it has the same. Whoops, wrong one. Same bar tape, ribbon bar tape as my Peugeot that I ride all the time. It's actually it's probably about the same year, same logo. Mine's white, so it doesn't have the cool fade on that logo. But this is a lower end model, and like we kind of talked about. I think that's where I was going earlier too. Is just like right when I looked at it, I was like, I'm not giving this guy much more than $35 for it, because I saw top tube shifters, you know, it's a full simplex group set, not full because the brakes are Wyman, but it's full French. But again, not like expensive components. But yeah, the top tube shifters, and that it had like a cover, which I just realized that's what I was saying. Oh, about earlier, it's just plastic, and so this actually just, I think it must have been yeah, that already looks better. It's that simple, but yeah, and one other thing, I always take these pie plates off vintage bikes. It makes it look like a nicer bike instantly, to pull those off, I think. But yeah, that's what I was almost looking at it earlier, and I'm like, maybe I should just everything I did to build my single speed, like move that over to this. But then I was trying to remember if there would be any French complications trying to just move something entirely over to this bike, because I think um, head tube, so the steerer is a little different when you're putting the that together, and then bottom brackets could be threaded differently. And I need to pull off this simplex derailleur on the back to see if it is the old school kind of simplex. I don't think it will be, but the old simplexes didn't have threads in the derailleur hanger. They were held on by pressure, and they didn't have a stop where your B limiter screw hits on any bike, pretty much that you would think of standard bike. So I do need to look at that. Oh, it actually does look like it's modern style. Actually, looking down at, I should get this other camera over here, but looking down at this, I think this has a ton of clearance, because these are 27-inch rims. If I switch these, did a 700C conversion, I bet I could put 38s on this bike, which would totally change it and make it something that I would keep for myself, beyond just having the frame and it looking cool. I do have live chat enabled. Did I miss some comments? But yeah. Oh yeah. I can't make the it's too new. So sorry to jump back from the Peugeot, what you guys are talking about with the member chats. So the program I use is a third party software that like takes the super chats and animates them, and has the chat on the side and my logo and the subscribers and all that stuff. That's just another website that's running in the background with a transparent overlay. And they haven't made something that takes in the what do you call that, API of the member chat yet. When they do, we'll put it up there. But so yeah, super chats are like a thing that have been around, so it knows how to deal with those. They haven't written any code apparently for the member chats. So Jay Dandy. Oh, there's a real super chat. Yeah. Oh, but I have the desktop audio off. Mark, you're lost with the chat stuff. They just, for being a member of the channel, they give you every month you can highlight a chat. But super chats are paid for chats that I have an overlay that pops on the screen. But that's not YouTube doing it. It's I set that up to happen on accident, which has always made those things so funny. But yeah, and then Nathan said the French have their own thread pitch on some frames too. Yeah, so typically with bottom brackets, you have the left side and the right side. French would be double left side, and the thread pitch can be different. There's solutions though, because Velo Orange sells a push in bottom bracket. What I usually do, since they're cup and cone on these, I usually just take them apart, clean them out, go to there's a bike shop down the street. This is the one time I'm not saying Dirty River, but wheel and wrench, like old school guys, and I buy like the actual ball bearings that go in there, and then just put new ball bearings in, put it back together, or pack it full of grease and put it back together. And then if it's square taper, you could still use other stuff on there sometimes. But yeah, everything with the that's a proper super shaft. I didn't get back to it in time. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Charles? He said French bikes are great. Started out on a, would that be a Junet, I would assume, in 72. I don't know. Is that a is that a typo, or is that a Junet or brand? Yeah, Peugeot's, the problem is everything is like the seat tube on these Carbolite frames is very specific, and I needed one because that was my daily driver forever, my Peugeot PNL10. But yeah, so I found a new old stock one on eBay, but so everything is just slightly off on French threading. But by this point with the Carbolite frames, they had switched to the normal derailleur hangers. Like I have a Chaton Tour de France, which is a 1974 or 5, I think I dated it at 1974, and that like has simplex. So when I went to modernize that bike, I had to file in a stop in the derailleur hanger, and I had a friend come over and tap it out. The great thing is the hole is the same size, but you need to thread it. It's unthreaded. So true French bikes don't even have threaded rear derailleur hangers, but these ones still have everything else to French standards. And I think the ones after Carbolite frames are when they went to more like whatever British. Me and Pudgy were chatting about it earlier, like modern British European standard. That's yeah. Oh yeah. So Mark said he had a so Jeunet. It was sweet, but French bolts were too difficult. Yeah, there's yes. One of my friends, when I got into vintage bikes, he was like, "Why did you get into French stuff?" But and one of the worst is so the one I started on, my dad's Motobecon, because not only would they use French threading on the Motobecons, they would use Swiss threading. So on the bottom brackets, you don't know if it's French or Swiss. The thread pitch is the same, but if you already have a built bike, you don't know which way to try and loosen the crankset because it could be either one, unless it's like, super high end bike with provenance where, it was this is the way their team race bikes were made. But if you just get a random Motobecon, you can't tell. So, So Charles said Junet, I'm assuming in French, went out of business years ago. Yeah, like pretty much everyone, or they're just a name who has been bought in some huge conglomerate, out of most of the European bikes. I'm just surprised I haven't heard of that one, Charles, because I just follow a ton of like groups where they talk about, and I see like obscure names I've never heard before, uh, every so often, and then I'll see it a couple more times and be like, okay, that was a smaller builder in Eastern Europe or whatever. But I'm surprised I haven't heard of that. Like because I especially with French bikes because those are the ones that I tend to gravitate towards. So Rick, that comment. Mark, you said your Peugeot was 80s. Yeah. Nice, Patrick. Yeah, I kind of want to look at that. I'm going to turn the real camera over towards the Peugeot. I want to see if it feels like I could fit like a reasonable size tire in this thing. Let me turn the angles. I think it's move the chat up. See what we got going on here. Oh, talking about Ronnie's trip out west. Yeah. Oh yeah, Leiwan is another underrated French bike brand. Yeah. But Mercier, Jeton. How many French bikes do I have? Look. Well, I have a Look, the Roger Riviere, which is made by Saint Etienne, probably. The Peugeot, the Motobacan, this new Peugeot. So yeah, at least five. But, oh, well, that was barely in there. I rode this around the studio earlier, so I wonder if this is a heliochromatic hub. No, it's not. So I need to figure out how to get this, what the freewheel tool is for this one. Yeah, because my other bike had a heliochromatic hub, which had a rifled setup for putting the freewheel on. It had like just grooves like that. It's great because you could take it off with pretty much. They had a special tool for it that you can buy. And the other hand had a beer cap opener, which was great. But you could take them off with any wrench. So yeah, this is just some kind of more standard style. So yeah, if I put a 700C wheel in here, like there is considerable clearance down here. I got it. I wonder if I could show that with the camera because these are 27-inch rims. So if I go to the slightly smaller rim, there's like pretty good cutouts here in the chainstays, which is always your limiting factor on your tire size on these old bikes. Yeah, being this that is a cheaper bike, I think it actually might be able to be like some kind of lightweight gravel bike if I could get a 38 on there. I wonder if I have any 38 wheels here. 38 tires, not 38 wheels. Got some gravel kings because I have some brakes that would work like that have like yeah, these have a really deep or long reach. These are some long reach Tektros. If I could fit that on there and fit 700C rims with a 38, this would be like cool. Oh, there's a kickstand on this bike. Focus. That it's chat running. Are we still live? Is everything still working? Hey, what's up, Rusty? I gotta try this out. Let me grab a 700C wheel. Is that where we're at? Is that what we're talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, these are the ones I pulled off that Schwinn Paramount. This would be the perfect thing to test on there. Oh, levers. Nine Eastern. Yeah, we did start at 9 Eastern. Where do you see a map on the shelf? Oh, you asked what kind of tires were on the. Oh, so the 38s, these are some gravel, just regular Gravel King SKs. 700 by 38. I think Large gave me this one, and I was running it on the Riviera for a while, which is kind of what I'm equating this bike to. Is like a cheaper French bike, but if it means you can do a conversion and fit decent sized tires on here, this would be a different proposition, right? Or not? Oh yeah, but what were the originals? They're Michelin. It even has French tires on here. I wonder if these are the true originals. No way. From the 80s? No, they have no wear on them. The guy who I bought it from said he rode this bike. So these cannot be original, but they're definitely old. Michelin BIB Sport 25s. Is that actually 25 millimeter? I thought they were wider than that because 27 by 1, right? So yeah, they are a little smaller. Made in France. Wow. There's some dry rot going on, but yeah, there's still like full tread on these things. The guy I bought it from, he thought the bike was from the. I was like, oh, so this is like an early '80s bike, and he was like, nah, my brother wanted a Bangkok bank. I don't know. He said some bank thing. He wanted some bank contest, but then he said, no, it's early '90s, and it's. I didn't argue with him, but I already knew before I bought it exactly what year it was from because the tubing, Carbolite 103, just straight gauge chromoly. Cheaper, but it's French tubing, but cheaper French tubing. The bikes are heavy, but they ride really well. So, and when I say heavy, they're not boat anchors. They're just heavier than a lightweight Reynolds 531 frame. Is my bike out? It's showing that it's bouncing. I don't know, Pudgy. What if the nuke wheel goes on this bad boy? Already fully built. I get long reach brakes. Is my fly down? No. Read these comments. Yeah. Where did I put my lever? Oh, great! It's already this is the distractibility when you get stuck in the snow and start drinking at uh, noon. Yeah, what is? Oh, this is the yeah, Shimano hub, and I can't remember what the wheel was off the Schwinn Paramount. Oh yeah, it's a 600 hub. So wait, 600 would be Ultegra, right? Yeah. So it's a Shimano 600 hub, and the rim. Oh yeah, that's what we were looking up last time when I tore apart the. Oh yeah, oh, it's a truck rim too. That's right. Truck rim Shimano hub. So probably before. I would guess so. Before Shimano bought Bontrager, right? Charles said a lot of '70s bikes came with Hutchinsons. Huh. Yeah, none of mine have. What are my? We were looking at my tubulars last week, which that came off my Chaton. I thought they were Vittorias, but because you could tell these are fairly close to original. They're all well. Oh, there's the thing I need to read. Oh, these were Panaracer, so Japanese tires. So these would have been later, because I doubt there would have been like Panaracer tubulars on a 1974 Chaton. So they would have still been all French. Well, yeah, everything would have been French back then. Said they even did it into the early 80s. So for all the Taiwanese competition. What kind of? Oh, I need a tube. I need a wider tube for this. That had a skinny road tube in it. Yeah, I don't want to put that in the 38. Yeah, this is a 23 to 25 tube. This will be good. I'll save this bike. I'll save this for the trainer. I always seem I'm like the only person in the world who could flat on a trainer, but I do. I'm trying to think of, oh, I have a tube for a 38 over here. I think so. Yeah, 32 to 42. When do you move, Rusty? Did you already move? Yeah, going from Arizona to Clevelandish, right? I remember really struggling with a couple of my Gravel Kings. They might have been the ones, though. I have a gravel, the other one that matches this tire. I think I bought one off Large Marge, and then at some point he just gave me the other one. But yeah, one is on the rear. I'm looking over at the other bike. One is on the rear of the Roger Riviere. But but yeah, and those are Vuelta wheel and rim, really cheap wheel set. But that has held up and worked great. So, gone on a bunch of tours on them, and I've ridden that bike on some gnarly gravel stuff. But who just called Gravel Kings the best tire in the world? I saw someone influential talking about Gravel Kings, like these ones, and being like best tire in the world. I'm not anti Gravel Kings. I think they are great tires, but yeah, I'm just such a fan of Renee Earth's. I just don't think I'll ever put anything else on. Oh wait, where did I put the? Is this it? Making sure I didn't grab the same skinny tube from before. Oh yeah, I got to line up the logo with the hole so all the purists, the bike shop guys don't get mad at me. So got to line up the tire logo with the. Oh, gotta take a leak again. That's how it's going tonight. If you just slam beers, you have to go to the bathroom. All right, I'm back. Where did I put that road tube? That's what the thing that's freaking me out. So the reason well, I guess the tire thing is there's plenty of good tires, and like I said, so Panaracer Gravel Kings, Panaracer makes, like we always say, they make everyone else's tires. Ultra Dynamico, uh, Ultra Dynamico, Terravale, and Renaers are all made in the Panaracer factory, right? So I do like I have like the Panaracers I have on the Peugeot are tires I really like. I'm trying to think. The ones I had on the Trek too. The vintage Trek. I have 32 mil. Doing what I'm trying to do here, so the conversion on the Trek got me to be able to comfortably fit 32s, but on this Peugeot, I think it might be 38. So yeah, I guess that's what I was saying. The reason I think 38 is so important, I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. I feel like 38 is where I go from being something that super sketchy stuff I won't ride on to I'll try about anything on a 38. So my bikes on 32s, I've definitely ridden on gravel and the industrial gravel and all that. But I feel like when you get to 38s, it becomes manageable and you can do just about anything. That's. I wonder what that line is probably different for everyone. And also to describe exactly what kind of gnarly stuff I'm talking about is hard to do unless we're all able to talk about the same exact place. But wow, that went on without any levers. Yeah. I don't know. If this fits, I'll be like kind of stoked. I don't keep I don't keep any bikes that I don't feel like I'll ever get on, or they're not a project, or, you know, they're not sentimental. So I obviously have a lot of vintage bikes, but like, what is that? Why is this pump leaking? It's not on there, right? Oh, there we go. So to me, like thinking this frame is beautiful, I won't keep it unless there's a justification. But if I could put 38s on it, then there's a justification for this bike staying in my possession. I think bikes should be ridden. I'm one of those people. Like, so. Oh, grand subject. What you were saying is, so yeah, French bikes have a, especially with vintage or French bikes, like toe overlap. Toe overlap has never been a problem for me, and I've talked about this because I know he mentions it on Pathless Pedaled a lot. Like if I'm riding slow enough where I might have like hit my foot on there, I'm going slow enough where it's not going to be an issue for me. So let's see if these will clear. Oh, it's looking promising. I probably have to undo the brakes. These are the kind of brakes that don't have any kind of, they're pre when you add a release to get anything around them. But maybe not. Let's see. Where am I hung up? Did I not put this in the easiest? Did I not put this in the easiest gear before I pulled the original wheel off? Let me see. I'm getting hung up on the derailleur, which is funny because that's what makes these old derailleurs so bad. Is the pulley wheel is so far away from the gears, you know. That's why they told me this down at the bike shop down the street, and they're right. Like almost any modern derailleur, like Shimano's lowest level modern derailleur, is like mountain bike, hybrid bike derailleur is better than a vintage derailleur. Almost across the board. It's just like there's that gap. Especially, you know, this is a cheap bike, so this is low end simplex. But even with some of the nicer stuff, if you're going back to the 70s or 80s, early 80s, um, huh? Why am I stuck here? A worldwide standard for NAR. I feel like these are gonna fit, and I feel like I'm just. And this is 7-speed, and I think the old one would be a 6, but I don't think the spacing is different. But it won't matter because it's steel, and I'll just do what I do with my other Peugeot and everything else. Is just you just bend the you just pull the stays out a little bit. Where am I hung up now? Oh, on the brake. Oh, it is wider. It is hung up on the. Let's see. Everything looks right. Oh, and the brake again. Oh yeah, I definitely am held up on the brake. Since these pads are no good, I have no problem trying to force it through for this experiment of whether I can make this work. Yeah, the stays need to be bent out a tiny bit. Too many things to hold for one set of hands. But I should hire you to be the designated mechanic. Fermented bike building. So yeah, they totally would push through these. Like I'll zoom in here to the levers, but I also need to be pulling the chain stays out a tiny bit while I'm trying to do that. Maybe I should just cut this cable. I'm not gonna. Or I could loosen that. I don't. Do I have any tools back here though? I'd have to run off and get the tools. It's hard to tell. Let me zoom it. I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make that show up on the live stream how tight the clearance is, but I think when it's back in the dropouts, it might fit these 38s. I just need to. Yeah, I should have spent that time I was messing with the camera getting my tools, but we haven't been buzzed enough like this in a while. So, all right, see you, Dylan. All right, I'm gonna grab tools and open up these brakes and see if I can make a 38 fit on here, because it'd be so sweet. Obviously, I'd have to get a tan wall, because look at this bike; it needs tan walls. But all right, maybe it'd be smarter to start with metric since this is a French bike. Whoever had 7 millimeters is the winner. All right. Not limited by the brakes anymore. This is like the OG live streams for sure. Yeah. Ah, man. Why don't I break down and let some air out of this tire? We don't need a ton of clearance. We just need clearance, you know? There's no Peugeot doesn't have the manufactured recommended clearance on this bike anymore. All right. Why won't this go in the dropouts? What is hanging me up now? I feel like I have a clear path. There it is. Let's see. I think this might work. Why do these... It feels like I'm maxing out the quick release, which shouldn't be an issue. Well, it's, obviously the brakes aren't going to fit, but... No, not even close. The, so, width-wise, nah, it just didn't drop, the rim size didn't drop down enough. 38s are still too big. Uninflated, they're rubbing on the inside of the chainstays. I just really thought it was going to pull. I thought the wheel would go far back enough, but it doesn't. Still not mad about. There's decent clearance here, but enough to do any work on this, or just to, I don't know. Nah, yeah, it's not going to work. Oh, it might work. There are plastic pieces in the back of the sheet metal dropouts on this bike that are pushing the wheel a little bit forward. And I'm wondering if I take those out, how much extra space I can get. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion. Oh yeah. This is a considerable distance. I mean, maybe not enough, but see. It's worth a try, you know. We're just hanging out, drinking, talking about bikes. I think it's, you know, you don't need to scold me for trying. There's also a kickstand in there. Did I say that? Gotta take that off. This ain't no touring bike. Steel is real. Come on. Okay, we gained a little. We gained a little. Maybe enough. Oh yeah, this QR skewer needs to be. Yeah, I need to put. I either need to put some kind of locking washer in there, or but yeah, the skewer's not the right length. But I think the tire might. It'll prove my point. That's all I care about. Let's see. What's it getting hung up on? Where are we at? You guys out? Are you getting another beer? Oh, were you guys talking about switching this into 650? Well, I was just, yeah, I couldn't reach brakes on 650. There might be some that work, but yeah, 650 is too far of a jump from a 27. Oh, there's a little dent in this room, but Bill Betty said, "How about some 32?" So what I was saying is my goal of finding a motivation to keep this bike for myself. 32s won't work for that because I have plenty of vintage bikes running 32s and 30s. So it wouldn't be fine. And this bike's not actually my size. I think it's probably a 56 if you look by that head tube. Um, on vintage bikes, I ride a 58 or a 60 in general. So what's it hitting? Oh, is that just the brake? Just might be the brake on the tire. Need to find a different skewer, but I think this tire size actually fits if it's centered. Yeah, there is enough clearance in here by far. With pulling out those little plastic inserts in the dropouts. What I could also do too is get those surly, what is the surly called? Is the lug nuts that reinforce the dropouts. People use them for fixed gear bikes for adjustments, but I use them on the Riviera to reinforce the dropouts. Well, you don't need to do it on the, well, this one does. That one has this has an integrated derailleur hanger. The Riviera doesn't, so that actually is a piece of metal on there. That on the one side gives it enough, but this might be a good candidate for those. What are those surly things called? Tug nuts, lug nuts? Yeah. Oh, Muskrat, you said Great Lakes Variety Pack? Yeah. Nobody this winter has had just like a solid dark beer. And when I went over to the drive-thru and they had Edmund Fitzgerald, I'm like, that's always just such. Great Lakes, everything they do is like, they're not the most innovative brewer in the world, but everything they do is like done exactly the way it should be. So, this is awesome. Look at this. This Peugeot will fit 38 Gravel Kings. Do I have another 38? I might just take this for, well, with the snow, I can't. But I'm like thinking like I'll just take this for a spin before I do anything. Oh, I got to get the brake situation. Yeah. Let's see if these will reach. I was almost thinking of leaving these vintage reflectors on, but that's actually like kind of acting like a spacer, and I don't think I'll have the reach with the bolt if I leave that on there. But I might not anyways. I might have to. Oh, that's a rear brake, so I would have to figure out something for the front caliper. But the front calipers, if you look, well, you can't see, but there's an adjustment of at least, man, I think the front brakes might work. And sometimes you get this on vintage bikes where they built the frame so they could work with 700C or 27, because the only country that had 27-inch rims is the U.S. Everything in Europe was always 700C. But so when Peugeot or someone was making a bunch of bikes, they would just make longer reach brakes, because that's really the only thing you need to change to make everything work. So that front brake is one of those examples. It's probably made to fit either 700 or 27. And you're right, Rick. I could probably go even bigger on the front fork. Oh, that angle doesn't work. That angle don't work. But yeah, that might be able to be. Well, could that be a 42 on the front? No, I think maybe it'd still be around 38. Maybe not. Yeah, that'd be worth seeing. What do we do? What else would I do with this bike to make it different, though? Would my mountain bar bikes fit on this? My mountain bike flat bar, man. Do I throw something like this on here just to make it completely something different that I don't have? Some vintage bike running 38s with these like wide rise flat bars. Blackball says single speed up this joint, put Nito risers on it, done. It's kind of right. That's kind of the right thing to do with this frame. But I like doing the wrong thing. Just kidding. Don't know what that means. See you, Patrick, and everyone. I missed Tug Nuts and every comment that I am not paying attention to on this night. But yeah. I don't know, Pudgy, that nuke proof. Could you argue with us on that on this bike? Of course you could. Of course you could argue with that on this bike. But at the same time, don't know, if we're running 38s, I might be. This might be a whole thing here. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look. Let's not get crazy. Oh, what's up, Mile High? You're back. Oh, it was the right size. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, the thing that matters is if it fits you. The numbers don't matter. Mustache bars, Rick. The thing to do with a bike like this, a $35 I paid $40 bike, is to build it up with what you have, but make it somehow unique or different to ride, right? But just Moloko bars, huh? These are Wolbers. They're alloy. They're not steel wheels. So you would think this would have had steel wheels on it. What are the skewers? Oh, Speedo. Oh, Mallard. So they are Mallard. Same brand that made the heliochromatics. So that must be what the hubs are. Yep. Peugeots are so weird. Like some of the stuff they put, like I don't. They held out on like being European till the end, man. I swear to God, they did. And you're looking, you're like, this is too. This is actually, this is nothing fancy, but it's nicer than what. This is like a Walmart bike of its day, which proves that. If you guys have seen that meme that's going around about like people asking like, stop making bikes that are made to go in landfills, you look and you think this is what was that at the time and how much. Well, not quite. There were department store bikes like Free Spirits, but like a low end Peugeot was still like it's still a bike that everything on this bike works right now and can be ridden with like literally WD-40 for the next 10 years. Pudgy has my address. What other tires do we have? Do I have another like 700 seat? What seat? Should we see if a 42 will fit on the front? This is about. I've got some Rene Airs that I took off that aren't even that bad. Oh no, maybe these are the. Yeah, these are some Hurricane Ridges. There's still life in that. Gas motor kit? What does that mean? There's still some moisture in here, probably some tubeless and whatever. Kind of want to wipe that out before. Larry, you don't think they'll fit in the front fork? Oh, wait, how did I do that pull feature? So while I'm trying to do it, we should have the pull up. All right. I got a 38 in the rear, Pudgy. If I had a nickel. And if I got a 32 in the rear, I'm thinking 42 up front. On these rims, remember, they're going on these Mavic Open Pros. So look at that. Right? Shut up. Don't need nothing out of you tonight. Flip those bars. That would be the move. They have the suicide levers too, as you can see. If you don't, those are called suicide levers. Oh yeah, knobs will be too knob. I don't know, Rene Airs though. Those knobs get pretty sideways. They don't get too sideways. I need to find another tube for this though, don't I? Even though these have only ever been set up tubeless. to your wheel. That's the whole problem, Pudgy. If it was your wheel, if you could use this whole wheel, I would have less of a hard time letting it go. It's about cutting the hub out of like what I think is a cool wheel. Oh, this is not the Open Pro. This is the SUP as we were talking about. But yeah, that's my thing. I think it's a cool wheel build. You're only after me hubs, you know. Where am I not? Where are my stars not aligning right here, boys? There's so much loose sealant all over my fingers now. Nope, still have not successfully put one side of a tire into a rim. I still, if you're wondering, if you need an update, you want to know where we're at. Oh, Rusty, it's Nutmeg approved if it says Renee Hurst. All right, I gotta find a tube. Should I put you on pause? Should I play a fun video? Like sealant, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Connecticut JMZ. I'll put that on. That'll make all sense. We're talking about Nutmeg. I need to find a tube. I show the Nutmeg video. Man, everything is coming together. I need to grab a beer. Oh, wait, what is this? There it is. Can you guys not hear this? Why is there not playing any audio? Why is it not playing any audio for that? Oh. There you go. Let's start this over. I feel like an audio experience is important for everybody involved here. See ya, Nathan. Wait, it didn't work. What happened?
Oh, 3 times, and then Kiki so hagelo. Thank the land. This is the warrior's cry. We're gonna take some roads on today with the warrior spirit. Okay, here we go.
Now I got the sound, Rusty. Bye, Nate. Peace. Oh yeah, Mile High sent me this song about a month and a half before Nutmeg, and I knew this is the video I was going to save to use it on. So yeah, this is Mile High. This song is just so great for this. It's just perfect like groove. Let me know if this evens out so I could talk and you could still hear a little bit of Nutmeg. If not, I'll turn one of us off. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, Bradley, I think like this will be one of my big, we planned for our tour like 4th of July and across Ohio or whatever we do. And I feel like Nutmeg needs to be one of those things for me now where it's also non-negotiable. Like if my business is going well enough, that's the second thing that I count on, you know. You could tell I'm busting out the Canon R5 here, right? Rick, you would know. Look at the Tuna. Finally got some Tuna in these shots. No, JMZ, he never announces exactly when or where like the route is until right before. So Erin finally got the part for her new bike today. Yes. I have way too much air in this tube. Mile High, we've talked about that a little bit on the live stream on this channel. Like, Iowa's a long way, like, Connecticut's not that close either, but Iowa's a hike. But I know people have done that ride and who love it. And I think there's some people who watch the channel who have done it as well. Look how many cool bikes are here. You know, they were like prototype crusts and there's these stone walls everywhere in Connecticut to mark property that are so old and they're awesome. Oh yeah, Mile High, or Black Ball, you should. Yeah, and like I said, then me and Large went and rode across the state for a couple more days while Erin visited a friend in Boston. And so she ended up picking us up down on the coast, the Long Island Sound, which was awesome. Did you like that Mile High, that this song, like, once I had this vibe going, I couldn't change it, so I just played the song twice. I'm like, I don't usually do that in my videos. I think it's kind of cheesy, but I'm like, I felt like it's an instrumental and it would work. I didn't even try to put that clean of a cut together. I really just started it over. I didn't want to take away from what your ending and your full song was, so I felt like I couldn't just like cut it in the middle, but yeah, Large is too punk for Nutmeg now, so. Oh, good, Mile High. Usually, I'll actually time videos to songs because I don't want to mess with songs. Being someone who played in bands my whole life, I just have an appreciation for music. And so if I really like something or someone sends me something, And then I really like it. On top of that, yeah, I feel like I can't do it in injustice. So I'm like, so I actually cut videos to song length. I'll be like, I have to cut part of this video out. Not instead that I need to shorten this song. I'll be like, I need to cut like parts of my video out to make it work to this song. So yeah, still a music first approach. These Rene Hurst are super narrow on these rims. They only look like 38. We'll have to put a caliper on them, but I'll let this video finish. And then I think we'll actually put a caliper on these because and we'll have to debate how that affects the pole. I think the pole is straightforward. Will these Rene Hurst, you guys knew what wheels I was mounting them on, so I think the pole still stands. I take another leak while this finishes. One to 10, Rusty? 11 large? Come on, you're exaggerating. Ben and Pudgy are both exaggerating because they've both seen me at 11 and 12.7. Blackball's right, 7. Yeah. Well, it's late enough that I could finally admit to all you that I also ate an edible. So. JMZ says 5. He knows that I have a range. I have a range. And the range could be very Large knows more than anyone that the range could be horrible. Yeah. Oh, Blackball, you said you were talking about you. Do you play both guitars on this Mile High? Because right, you have the guitar playing more of the finger picking stuff, and then you have the big, like more like power chordy guitar over top of that. The distortion sounds a lot like Mazzy Star on this song. Yeah. Maybe James, maybe we look at Nutmeg on maps. How many guitars are there? There are 3? Because right here you're adding in a new lead, which this lead reminds me of like a Stone Roses guitar solo if you listen to Stone Roses Mile High. I don't think you're ripping anything off. It just has that vibe to me. Yeah, wah-wah pedal a little bit on that lead guitar. Yeah. Oh, the lead is a Gresh through a Big Muff. Nice. Oh, Earthquaker, the company I photograph guitar pedals for, the owner's a friend. They have a kind of a Big Muff copy. So, all right, Rusty. Love the Stone Roses. Love me a Big Muff. There are 3 guitars, maybe. I forgot. Maybe 5. That's, yeah. If you got 5, 7, 8, if you got up to the 8 guitar on a song like this, you would sound like My Bloody Valentine's first record, right? All right, where did we end up with the poll? So 79% say that the 42 will fit, which, like we're saying, is, I don't think, it's definitely not a 42 like on my Aerons, my Velocities, but I know I missed one of Muskrat's comments that I thought was funny or poignant, but oh, there's Muskrat. Let's see the poll. So, yep, 79%. Loveless, you're right, Bradley. Loveless is the album I was thinking of. Can't you see that Mile High song? If he just like piled on a bunch of more noisy guitars, that song would sound like something that could be on Loveless, maybe. Put some distorted, barely audible vocals over it. All right, let's get to this tire. 14 votes. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Is this about to become the best $40 purchase since my $30 purchase of my last Peugeot? That shit ain't gonna fit through the brakes. Who you kidding? I told you. I can't read the chat from here. This has been a huge mistake as I walked over here. Let's get that mouse. Oh, we didn't brighten the scene. Brighten the scene up. Yeah, the Stone Roses are like the Stone Roses invent Britpop. Just so we're all clear. I know some people could argue for the Verve. I don't agree, but no, 1989, the Stone Roses, like Oasis were the Stone Roses' biggest fans. Oh, I was gonna let some air out of this. Yeah, I just needed to make the chat bigger. Yeah. Oh, the edibles. So I fixed. I know my head's not in here, so I fixed my upstairs tenant's shower. My buddy Jeff, who CD Truth, Mistletoe, and he said, he was like, "Have you been to the edible store?" And I'm like, "Or the weed store?" He said he was in Detroit. He was like, "Thanks for fixing that. There's like 4 in here." And he was like, "These are the." I was like, "Oh, edibles like sketch me out. I end up getting way too high if I mess with those, and I don't smoke anymore. I don't really mess with weed much anymore, as you guys know." So he was like, "No, these are like if you have a slight back pain." And so I'm like, he's like, "They're mellow." Yeah, so I ate one at like 6 o'clock, ate dinner, had a beer, thinking everything would be fine. Just like always, totally baked. Totally baked. Come on, where's... Oh, I definitely need to stretch the fork to hit over the hub. Huh. Let's see. Oh, the fork crown. When we fill this, when we put pressure in here, it's not the width of the fork. It looks like the fork crown might be the limiting factor. Let's get that pump back over here. Let's zoom. Dude, this Peugeot. Well, let me turn it your way. That I know it's underexposed, but it looks sweet with this hairs on it. 10 milligrams, and everyone said that was minor. Because me and Large ate some we found in Cincinnati on our Airbnb once, and yeah, we were wrecked. So now I trust people's judgment. If they say they're not a big deal, I feel like they're not going to be a big deal. Now I've leveled out the experience with the alcohol, which I'm like, running in lightweight Keith Richards territory now. And if you get that reference, you know about pink and green straws. So, all right, let's go to the tape. Let's zoom in here and see where we're at. Oh, did I turn off the camera? Yeah, I freeze framed us. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! Oh, man. I know it's a little dark, but yeah, it'll run these. It'll run these. Yeah, there's enough clearance. If I get a long reach brake on here, we were looking at him on the stream just the other week. Oh, this one has reach too. Let's see what the reach is. Oh yeah, there's room here for these. With the native brake, I think I could hit the brake track on these wheels. Guessing 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. Nope, bigger. 12. Oh, do I not have things in the right slot? Probably not. I was right with 10 millimeter, and I had the socket in the wrong slot. Oh hell yeah, these brakes totally reach. They have room to spare. Yeah, I dropped it too far down. That's crazy. Yeah, I invented the gravel bike. I invented the gravel bike, guys. Do you see this? Are you watching? Blackball, I think I could riv. What if I riv nut this and put a basket on here? What if Yonda riv nuts this fork for me and I have a basket on this bike? What can we do bars wise? Do you think we go something weird? Like, do we do something weird with the bars? Do we go crazy out there flat bars? What do you think? Some chain. Dude, we have a 42 Rene Ayers in the front, a 38 in the back. And again, a cheap bike, but it looks like this, and now it's got a decent wheel set on it. Sorry, Pudgy. Um, look at that radial. You probably. Oh, my other light went off. Why did my other light go off? That's why it got so dark over there. Jeez, why don't you guys help me out a little bit? Yeah, radial laced with it has arrow spokes. Look at how could I let that go now? You Pudgy, you know it's found its home. You out, Malk? See you later. Put some butterfly. What do we just go? This has got to be like I said. This is a $40 bike. So far I've put 2 tires on it that I already own that are working. I put 2 wheels on it that I already own. So I think like the bar choices have to be what's on the shelf, right? What's on it or what's on the shelf and what will fit or could be shimmed out on this. If I went flat bars, can you mount road levers sideways, guys? Could I just put the road levers like this? Because it's top tube shifting, and I do have 2 bar ends, but I don't think you couldn't put bar ends on this. But yeah, what if you leave the top tube and we go like this? Put a better rear derailleur on here. Front derailleur will work just fine. So put a better rear derailleur on. Put the flat box. Can you mount the bars crooked? Let me know. Or the brake levers. Pudgy, you might know that. Well, see, corner bars aren't the right thing for this bike because the nice thing about corner bars are going the other direction. You already have flat bar stuff, and then you get the feeling of drops. This already has drop bar, stuff. Pudgy. Yeah, every point you're making is a good point. Like everything like Pudgy's saying is true and on point. But I just don't want this wheel to be torn apart. I think look you can't look at this. Let me so you in there? I mean, this just happened. But I mean, could Oh, where's my caliper? Let's see what these measure to. Let's see what these measure to and those measure to and mess around with that. One thing that will bum me out about taking these bars off would be undoing this beautiful ribbon tape. It's so dumb, but I have it on the other Peugeot. It's not grippy. And so it's like if I want to leave these bars on, I shouldn't take them off because this, you know, or what do they call that? Cello tape? Or Musgraves, I'm not, we've never really talked about vintage bikes that much, so I don't know how nerdy you are about it, but yeah. One by. That's the least of my worries. this is the thing of beauty. I don't know. Like, I was like, I don't need this bike. I shouldn't even spend, like I said, 35. I told the guy $35 if you just want it out of your garage, is where I'm at. But I love this paint job, and now the fact that it's a cheap bike is what's making it better. So if this was a high-end racing Peugeot from, say, let's say it's 1981, like I said, it's a spread of 3 years. So say it's the 1981. If this is the high-end, you know, Reynolds, or yeah, they would have used Reynolds at Peugeot tubing. They would have they would have made the frame so everything was like tighter clearance and everything would be perfect. And right now that'd be great, but you could maybe put 25s or 28s on it. Like, and when you think of like what the weight difference is between like this and that bike, yes, it is noticeable, but compared to like some modern carbon bike on the scale of things, not that crazy. And like I said, I've ridden 4,000 miles on a tube set like this, and I love the way it feels, except for that it's not super light. So, where am I going with this? What are you guys trying to, what are you trying to argue about? Just breaking the third wall includes Steven's buddies. How did I break the third wall? I already don't remember. Yeah. Pudgy gave me a wonderful present. It wasn't with the presumption that down the road he might see something in my and want it. Yeah. What's oh yeah, the calipers, yeah. Well, let's start with the rear anyway. So the 38 Gravel King mounted to the um, Matrix Trek rim and Shimano 600 hub. You're not gonna, yeah, this is only measuring to 33. No way. That can't be right. Yeah, that's only measuring out to 33 millimeters. I don't have a ton of pressure in there, so I'm guessing it would end up more like 34, 35, but still. So a 38 Panda Racer on this. So what year would that Paramount be? So this is about a 19. No, this two. Yeah, either like a 2000 or a 2001 wheel set, right? We talked about this on the last stream. No, I don't have any grip shifters. Let's see what this. I'm gonna try and go from like where there's a couple knobs on the outside, so knob to knob. Knob to knob, as the kids say. Right, Pudgy? That is only measuring out to 38. Yeah, that's how much pressure did I put in that? That has a reasonable amount of pressure, and that's measuring out to 38. So, yeah, Reneer's 42 on a. What year? Well, you would know better than me, Pudgy. These are not carbon um, nuke proofs, and the Mavics. Yeah, 38, 39. They're not even hitting 40 for sure. Um, Suspension seat post. Did anyone answer my question about putting the drop bar brakes sideways, large? Have you ever done that? Muskrat? Yeah, try the bar I got. See what's up. Yeah, let's at least. Oh, quill quill stem in these old closures, so you have to cut all the cables and remove the brake levers and undo the tape. So I need to think. Do I want to? Is there any chance I want to leave these bars on? Do I start with these bars? At least ride it a couple of times before I make a decision, right? Yeah, right now I've just turned the standard bike that it was into a bike that has wide tires. Yeah, I think the move is to take the rear brake off first and see if I have a brake that I can make work with this before we get in too deep on anything, right? There might be a little bit of drop in there. Let's see. There just might be. Oh, these things are, they might be a little corroded in place. But it does, the brake pads can drop down a little bit, but enough for the 700C, I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. I know we're good on the front. Yeah, even dropped down all the way, it's still going to contact the tire just a little bit. Yeah, let's pull it off completely and see if a different brake will work. Yeah, part of me thinks just leaving this, like just leaving this whole, I mean, suicide levers, those, I don't know, they're kind of fun, but like, let's make it wacky as we can. And now I'm like, just this bike with these tires, like these wheels, you know. Drop the nut, dang it. Where did that go? I heard it hit the bottom of the bike stand. You know what? I have so many brake parts. I probably have one that'll fit right here, and I could just put that on just so I could let this hang. What's going on out there? Oh, you guys like you? Oh, Rick, you like the suicide shifters? Aaron loved those on a World Sport. The World Sport had top tube index shifting. Oh, this isn't the right. This is not the right size line. Top tube index shifting. Shimano. What would that have been? I can't remember. But here's a Wyman brake, so maybe that'll work. But yeah, top tube shifting and suicide levers, and she loved it. That's how she learned to get into like cycling as an adult on that machine. But suicide levers never really stop you. I don't know why they got that name, but maybe it's because you could never quite put enough pressure on them to actually work on these old. I just dropped all the parts. This is always what it's like when I work on anything. So, all right, where are those long reach bad boys? Right here. Oh, I'll need a different nut. These are the kind of nuts that go into like a bridge. That's, nah, come on, help me out. You get the idea. Or maybe you don't. Let's see. Ooh, there's not a lot. No, there's not much of the bolt on the other side. And this is a round brake bridge, so it's made to have those things that dropped on the ground, the rounded nuts on each side, which would extend it even farther. Wonder what else I got. A lot of my old stuff is center pole, and then a lot of my more new stuff is designed around 700C, so it was never made to drop that far down. All right, here's a side pole Diacomp 500, so maybe let's see what this looks like. Might be in business with this guy. They're touching the tires, but I wonder if they could be angled right to not be. It's going to be close. This might be a brake that works. And it'd be an equivalent to this. This is a Wyman Type 500. This is Diacomp 500. Yeah, these are like same kind of side pole brakes. Brakes that aren't going to stop you with like going fast with a full load or anything, but yeah, let's see what that. Where'd I put my wrench? Yeah, these Diacomps are going to work. We have full brakes on this bike. Yeah. I think it's derailleur. What else do I have? Maybe the one. What's it? Oh, there's an Altus in here. A long reach Altus. Yeah, a long cage, I mean. I wonder what I could put on the Shimano hub to get me a few more gears, but we do have this, which would shift way better than that old Simplex that's on there. Oh, does this frame even fit Tim? Well, I mean, come on. I could bump the seat and the bars up. It's all right. I rode around the studio a little bit. I think we have something going on here. Oh, I work barefoot. Yeah, I'm like RJ the bike guy, but instead of white tube socks, I just have my feet. Muskrat said he liked tires, but like terracotta tires better. Yeah, these would have true tan walls. These are real light tan walls, but I got sealant and a bunch of junk on them, so they would clean up pretty nice. Um, I don't know. Now I'm just kind of, this is all, this, oh, this has a derailleur. How does that work? This has its own derailleur hanger on it, but does that just come off? Can I just take that off and... No, the B limiter screw is through A sun race derailleur hanger. No, I don't need that. No, I don't need that. Nobody needs that. Right? Right? Am I right? Let's take the old one off first. It's probably some fucking weird simplex thing. What the hell? What's going on here? Abort. Come on, I'm just getting going. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, that's tightening it. So why was it stopping when I was trying to get it loose? Huh, that shouldn't be that hard. What is going on? I can't figure out what's happening here. Ah, it looks like I need to put another wrench in the back. It's just going to spin on itself. There's another Allen that needs to go on here. So the wheel needs to come out. Then I could take that off. But I think, yeah, putting a bigger rear... this is Shimano, so I think, man... Shimano's 7-speed, so... Did they change... Well, it doesn't matter. At what point could I put a different size rear freewheel on here? Think about that. Yeah. You guys think about that. I'll think about it. I think this is the move. I think I leave the top tube friction. Well, I always stand up and bump those things, though. But change the rear derailleur to something that would shift way smoother. I don't know. This is kind of... I like it. I know it's dumb, but I like it. It's midnight? Are you serious, Pudgy? We gotta go to bed. Yeah. Ah. Whew, look at that. It's like a 90s music video, huh? What time is it? You're right, it's midnight. I think we got somewhere tonight, though. You know? A lot of beating around the bush, but at the end of the day... I don't know. Look at that. It looks sweet. It looks like a Peugeot mountain bike with those tires on there. Like, this would be like a late 80s or early 80s Peugeot mountain bike. I mean, there you go. That's what they would have done. They would have overbuilt it. Oh, yeah. Right? Am I right? Are you guys arguing with me? That's right, Bradley. It looks sick. Good job. That's right, Rick. It froze. The camera froze. We're done. We're out. I don't know. She's a butte, Clark. Oh, there, the camera's back. But we're still out.
See myself on your YouTube.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.